G'day everybody, and welcome back for more amusement park building. I have to confess something that happened in between the last stream and this one. I've loaded this save a couple of times, and a couple of times this has exploded. I'm not exactly sure why. You'd think I would know why, but I actually don't. Yeah, so for some reason when this thing starts spinning up, if there's just the teensiest amount too much force, it explodes. So if I turn this on, I think I've got it to a safe level now. Nope. Nope, I don't. That's not good. Yeah. So that's a thing. I really do need to fix this ugly duckling thing, though. I wonder... I could put share and ocean tensor on that. Is that the problem? It did seem more stable the moment I clicked that. Charge extra for that ride. Yeah, probably should. Ooh, I might put a little bit of braking torque on this. Maybe 50? How long's it been since I did the last one of these? I think it's been more than a couple of weeks. It feels like it anyway. Which is not good, because I have a lot of work to do and I don't have as much time as I might have wanted to get it done. Right, let's see if this works. Yeah, technically, yeah, if you die young, this mightn't be the worst way to go. That looks more like it. Less shake, less explode is good. I might be able to increase the velocity then. Eisen, I probably won't put a spinning light on this, so this brings me to a topic I wanted to discuss today. I was sent a link to a very cool ride that was made. I think I've got it. I think I posted it in workshop. Yeah, here we go. So this made my man. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the second name. This ride, which if you guys go on the Discord, or if I just copy the link and drop it in here, you can go have a look at the video. It's an incredibly detailed ride with lots of lights, all the sound and all that sort of stuff to go along with it that makes it feel like a real world ride. Now, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to do that with this, because if I did, I'd end up with that horrible light flickering, so I can't put tons of lights on everything. I've got it more than enough on the Ferris Wheel that I need to be kind of stingy with the lights on the other builds, so I got to think about where they're going to be most impactful when I do put them on, which is a pity, because I would like to put more on. What I thought I'd do for today is potentially finesse these rides a bit and try and do a little bit of the entry, and then maybe look at, once I've done that, what space would work well for the bumper cars. Because I was sent a really cool little design of a version of the Butterball but as a bumper car, which I kind of want to use. Or at least use to inspire how I'm going to do the rest of the bumper cars. Because I haven't actually loaded it into the game to see whether it works for what I'm after. Yeah, bumper ball. Jackson. I think bumper ball works better than butter bumper. How does this go with me reversing this? Oh, actually, Maybe I won't do the bumpers today. Maybe instead of bumpers... I'll do a drop ride. So one of those, bring it up to a massive elevated height and then just free fall down. Because I think that could be entertaining to do somewhat realistically. Also, why aren't you retracting? Maximum distance, minimum distance, on. Huh? It does not want to go down, does it? Well, I can answer to that. More force. More force equals more better. Thanks, Zach. Turn you off. Right. Maybe I'll work on the drop thing first, and then I'll work on finessing the rides and giving them some entries. Because I kind of want to do a little bit of that stuff. Drop ride. How will we do a drop ride? Basically what I'm thinking... Drop ride at the edge of the cliff. Maybe. Just on the edge of this green is probably alright. It gets fairly steep at that edge. I don't know that I'm going to make the park so big that it extends, like, right out to one of these cliff sides. That seems... Yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh, actually I could make, like, the tower here, partway down, and then have a catwalk walkway that goes out to it as the entry. So, like, say... starting here. And dropping like that. So it has to have a full view of the whole park. And then I can try and fill in the gap between here and the entrance, which is supposed to be over that way. Yeah. Okay, so how to do this? I was kind of thinking it'd be cool to have the drop ride be mounted on wheels, so it actually does get just released by a merge block and falls. With maybe some timer blocks to... Yeah. Or something with zero friction wheels and then timer blocks to increase the friction on the wheels so that it'll break as it gets closer to the ground. Oh, see, I was thinking with seats facing all directions, so you can choose which way you look. So you're not only looking this way, you could sit anywhere around the whole thing. So I might just start building an easier spot and then hopefully be able to repaste this. But I guess... Yeah, it could be thrusters to go up rather than... And then just turn off the thrusters. Turn them back on. That's actually possibly a better idea than what I was thinking. How big do I want the center pillar to be? I do want it more than one? Trust the timer block, right? Yeah, that is what it's going to end up being. Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. That's the shape to go for. So slabs along the side. Here. Do the tower like this with the slab corners to make it smooth, because I wanted something a little bit bigger than just a single block, but something like this all the way around. And this is that moment in every creative mode stream that I do where I realize I need to turn on symmetry mode much earlier. Yeah. I reckon that'll do nicely. Possibly put some batteries in it. And then the way I thought I'd start this is start with a rotor, lock it, and add a small head, and then I can start building around. So I can build the thing already in the position I need it to be in. Okay, that's better. Symmetry mode on. Right, how on earth to do this? I might need to use 3x3s rather than 1x1s, because the extra suspension of the 3x3s might make this work a little bit more safely. So I'll go with... I probably want them actually running against it. How will I do that? It won't let me place the wheel. Oh no! Keep pressing the wrong key. I know how I can do this. I'm gonna need to... Oh, I shouldn't have done this. Symmetry mode. What are you doing, Splitsy? Wake up! It's not that early in the morning. So what I'm thinking is, if I put these pistons down, what I can do is build the whole thing raised up and then drop it down over the rail. So that I can have the wheels right up against the blocks and actually using their suspensions to hold it in the middle. Okay. Safe's relative, Eisen. You're right. Making this safe is, well, I do kind of want this stuff to be safe. One more block out. Certainly wouldn't be safe if you were walking past this thing as I build it. With me dropping stuff all the time. Is that going to work? Okay. Hopefully that'll work, because then I can have potentially 2 wheels. Ah, I didn't make it long enough. Oh, that's so annoying. Aristotle, I am planning on a full-size roller coaster. The roller coaster is going to be one of the last things I build, though, because I want to make sure that I'm not putting it in the way of any of the other rides I want to build. Wait, what? Are those... What? Those wheels not actually attached? They are not. They are just embedded in the thing. Interesting. Yeah. Let's try that again. So turn the friction right down. Friction right down. Remember the tire pop tests. Yes, if the tires on this pop, I'm in kind of a bit of trouble with this ride. Let's see what happens if I do this. I might just quickly add the other wheels and just have a look at how this functions and whether it's going to work in its current state. So, how far out did I actually come from the center? 7. Bring this down. No, I don't. No, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should work. So in theory, placing those, and then like another set about there. Similarly for these ones. I don't know why these wheels aren't falling. It's very strange. Hopefully this will create a relatively stable car when I drop it. Since I've done more work, let's copy it again. Canadian, I have honestly no idea whether I would or not. One thing... Oh. I know this might be a controversial thing, but... Okay, that kind of worked. I might need stronger suspensions. But there was a game announced by this same guys who did Stationeers, which is also led by Dean Hall, the guy that did DayZ, called Icarus, which looks quite interesting. Not sure how I feel about free-to-play, but if it's done well, the whole concept of a survival game where you're always playing the start of the survival kind of appeals to me, because that's always been the bit that I like the most. Yeah, I will need a battery on this. And that would be the other plane. Then some thrusters. I don't think I'll need big ones. And I suppose I should put a control seat down. That's a little unsteady. Let's see what happens if I increase the strength of all these suspensions. Oh. I can't seem to make it rise up. Eh. Okay. Too strong on the suspensions. Let's drop it down to... Actually, let's toggle them off. Oh wait, no, not too strong. I want the height offset right. Oh, hold up. I know what's wrong. So, every time I hit spacebar, I'm locking the handbrake on them. Yep, thought of it just at the same time you rode it, Flexrush. I think the handbrakes is the problem. The wheel's friction is already... Oh no, it might not be off for these ones. Didn't get around to that, did I? Actually, even with it off, it doesn't make a difference. Let's use thrust overrides. Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whee! Now it seems to be working alright. I don't have any gyros, so I shouldn't end up being able to push this off from... Oh! Okay, I'm wrong. It didn't go straight up. Oh, man. Sorry about the coughing. Oh, jeez. Right. Let's cut that. And then let's try and paste it so that it lands back on. Come on, game. Why are you taking so long to paste? No! Ah! I think I accidentally hit Control B. And I deleted it from my clipboard. Dang it. Alright. That's alright, we got this one over here. So, that number of wheels works, and that positioning of wheels works. All I need to do now is make a tower that's tall enough, and then build some sort of stopper at the top that can grab it. I'm thinking maybe a landing gear on the main grid, so that it'll go up, the landing gear will grab it, and then the landing gear drops when the thruster's switched off. And yeah, maybe something like wheels at the top as a buffer so that it kind of bounces into it gently. Thanks, Armand. Let's get rid of that because I need this thing. Is that tall enough? I suppose it could be. Ah, I can make it taller if I'm not happy with it. Alright, so... rebuild that stuff that I accidentally deleted. should do the trick. And then put the thrusters in there. And a couple of batteries. Yeah, it'll get the bright colors. I also need a theme for this. What's the kind of theme I should have? Like, I've got the space pirate ship, I've got the rotor to teacups, I've got the ugly duckling ride, the duckling derby, I think it was called. Yeah. Rainbow rotors. Piston power. Ah, the solar axe drop. Ooh. Keep the ideas coming. I'm thinking. What would work best? Shoop. Derp and derp. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, you suck. Why you do this to me? Let's paste it before I do something stupid and accidentally delete it again. Yeah, nailed it. Oh, the drop bear. My little my little drop bear test vehicle. Oh. Okay, either drop bear or who packed the chutes? I think those would be my two leading ones at the moment. Yep, who packed the chutes? That's what it is. In fact, this is creative mode, so I could actually use parachutes. I need a gyroscope so that I can fix this orientation. Oh, I love it when my blocks don't show up. Yeah, there we go. No, yeah, they're on. Cool. Oh no, that wasn't trouble with gravity. This has got thrusters on it. It was holding it up. They were holding... It was actually holding itself up. That is as expected. That'll definitely be enough tower. Actually, let's see. What speed do I get to before I hit the ground? 70-ish. Maybe it does need to go a little bit taller. Although it'll be so out of scale with the rest of the park if I go too taller. Too much taller. I guess... More tall! 50, 60, 70... Yeah, that's pretty good. 90. That is more than enough. Oh, right! Aha! I have an idea. So to make it less ridiculous compared to the rest of the park, what I can do is if I bring it all the way, if I bring it a fair way out here, and it actually drops past the entryway, so when you fall, like when you load up, you'll come in at about, what height is it? Like kind of halfway up the pole, and then you ride up. And then when you fall down, you know, most people would expect to stop where they entered, but you fall through that and then you stop. That could work. So what height do I want? Because that is too tall. I think somewhere around here is about as much as I want to go. So I think any taller than this and it'll look really out of scale to the rest of the park. Greeble it to look like the starting drop pod. That's a great idea. In fact, I'm going to load up a quick game so that I can get one. Save changes, yes. Like drop pod, respawn. I think it'll look awesome as the drop pod. What is that going to blueprint as? Respawn planet pod, cool. A sundial. Do 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 do. Come on, load my game. I'm gonna have to be careful with how I name some of my save games, because in the past I've done some things that have had names that gave away stuff I was planning for various videos. But if I'm going to show my stuff on stream, I might accidentally show off, do a reveal. Alright. What was it called again? Respawn planet pod, there it is. Alright. So what we kind of need is that sort of feel for each of the chairs. Don't need most of the stuff behind it. So like can easily get rid of all of this. Ah! Dang it. Too many keys pressed at once. Get rid of all of that. I think you can, FlexRish, create subfolders. I kind of want to put these details in, but I'll put them in after I've cut this out through the middle. Need to climb splitting tool. Oh, the other nice thing about this is it'll give me the thrusters I need to launch the thing up. So that's kind of handy. There's a Ferris wheel just over there. Skymonger. It's going to do that thing. That's always annoying, the edges that shouldn't be edges. Correct. I think I might just use the vanilla seat, although I could potentially make this wider and like just a little bit wider and put 2 seats in each, which could look a little bit better. Let's copy that. Press that and I'll copy it again. Then I'll cut through here. Because I kind of like the idea that for the ride, thematically it seems, I feel it makes more sense if it's not identical. What have I done? Just pick up the wrong piece. I think I just picked up the wrong piece. So kind of like the idea is, because it's a ride, you get to ride with someone. Yeah, there we go. So I've got modded chairs in this that are only 2 blocks wide. So I'll be able to fit 2 chairs, like so. And that could be each side of the thing. In fact, let's see how that works in terms of each side. I'll need to add these blocks back in that I accidentally deleted from the other one, but this will at least give us an idea. Oh yeah, I could probably put 2 of these. Couldn't I? So have 4 seats on each side, but have like 2 little booths. No, I wouldn't replace the front armor with glass, because you have to get in somehow. I think I need to pick this up from another spot. It's probably going to work. So I can paste it where I want to. I'm probably going to completely rework this thing in a second. But this is just to give a rough idea of what it might look like. Oops. That is not aligned. Yeah, so that sort of thing could work. Obviously, changing the way that that joins in the middle so that it's a bit more seamless, but that'd give us 4 on each side. I think that'd work really nicely. Oh, right, so you can see the ground, because in this position you won't see it coming. Yeah, I could definitely do the floor in glass. Window. That's a good idea. I could do double-decker, but yeah, I don't think a double would be needed. It needs to be that block, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that works. I kind of like the cramped feeling because it makes it feel like the original drop pods. Whereas if I did 6 across, it'd make it feel, I think, too open for me. I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like this works fairly well. What I might do is, rather than working on this up here and attached to this the way I've done it, I feel like I need to bring those in closer and rework the whole design a bit. So let's get rid of that and get rid of those and copy that. Okay. Now I can paste that so it doesn't destroy. Yeah, I need to completely rework the way this thing's laid out because it is very much too loose. First off though, that colour is going to work better. And symmetry mode would have helped. There we go. Get rid of these little stalks. They shouldn't need to be there. And then, could I fit the batteries over this segment here? So if I pop... actually, what if I do this? And I need to link it. Do the same out here. What I'm thinking is if I get rid of these blocks in between the top and the bottom and put the batteries in those corner pieces for now. Just got to make sure I've got linkages everywhere else so that I don't break the whole thing apart when I take these out. I shouldn't need many batteries because this is creative mode, so they're not going to run out of charge. But having the extra batteries is extra mass, so it does make the whole thing a bit more stable. There we go. That's clear enough of the blocks. Oh yeah, Tuxmelva could have done small batteries. Could have. Block damage is off, Slazer. This is very much me going creative mode with the build. So I've got block damage off. I've made everything as safe as possible from that point of view, so that if I build something that's going to clang out, it has to clang pretty hard for stuff to get destroyed. Which does still happen, but it doesn't happen much. We can lose... Yeah, we can lose all this scaffolding now. Yeah, that's a bit more compact to work from. I don't actually know if I need gyros for this. I'm going to put them on there, but I don't know that I would actually strictly need them. What I do want to do is get another drop pod. So I want to have a quick look. Come on. The sort of stuff that's behind the seat, because while this looks good this way, I need to have that, like, look behind it where you've got the beacon, you've got the parachute, you've got the piping. I may just do conveyor piping and put a few timer blocks in there. As that's probably enough to make it work, design-wise. I'll have the gyros on there, so I've got them as a backup plan anyway. And now... No, that would be a bad idea, I think. To put blocks between the wheels. So, if I'm going to make the back wall of the drop pod, I might make it down there and then just attach it straight onto the blocks that are there. I think they're far enough out. For my plans. Because the wheels shouldn't need to travel much at all. Should work. Alright. Decoration time. That is the best way for me to link these. Just do something fairly straightforward. It's convenient that the width has worked out quite nicely with those thrusters in there. Oh, tram. Yeah, that's true. I probably will need a whole lot of timers on there. Yeah, Pale Flames. This ride is to simulate a drop pod with speed mods installed. Absolutely. Because who wouldn't want to ride on a drop pod that's simulating disaster? I think... Yeah, I might just do this simply. Oh no, I can't. Can't bring myself to do it. I have to do something at least a little bit special. And I'll do this. Across the top, and then I'll change those ones out to be this type. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that gives a decent shape that's visible. Could make it a damage drop pod, but I think just the regular drop pod's a nice nod to the regular drop pod. Don't feel like I need to do more than that to make this be fun to ride. I reckon of all of these rides to actually go on in-game, this is going to be one of the best ones. This and the pirate ship, because the spinny rides, I think a lot of people struggle with the... oh, I can't get in there. What do I do? Let's give myself a rotor to build off, because I need to be able to lift this thing up. Like the rotor rides spin so much that I think a lot of people get simulation sickness from it. Whereas this one shouldn't have that issue at all. And saying, yeah, danger noodle with a seat on the end. Yes, that is an option, but I kind of want to make this stable enough that other people could join me in this world. Like that would be theoretically possible. Or that people can load this save up and have a look around themselves. Because I want to share it with everyone once I reach that milestone of 100,000 subscribers. Dang it. Hey, I'm just attaching it to a rotor to build it. It's fine. Right. I think that's probably enough decoration for it, I think, for the outside bit, and then I can do the back wall decorations. Like, if you look at that from... What the heck? Look at this from the front. I feel it still looks obvious enough what this is intended to be. Codon, we are building a drop ride. Like those Space Needle type things. And hopefully I'll have the aesthetic design down pat shortly. This is coming together rather, well, a lot faster than I was expecting. Yeah. I think that works. Now I've got a platform I can actually place the decorative stuff on. So, beacons. We need small cargo containers, some of these, and some timer blocks. And I reckon that'll be enough that I'll be able to do the decorations that I want to do. Where are timers? What timer's hidden under? There. What colour are all these on the main drop pod? I think they're just medium grey. Yeah. I wasn't thinking putting small batteries in, but I could. There's not really any reason I can't. But I think... I feel like with this sort of stuff, you can definitely get away with things that don't make any sense. It's just the appearance. So, like, sitting in this chair now, when I look around, I can see all that stuff on the back wall. I don't think you're going to be looking at the back wall. You're going to be looking through the floor or out the front. That works. I reckon. One block that I missed. Since I'm going to be copy-pasting this to paste it onto all four sides, I want to make sure it's perfect before I take it out. I don't... So the timers are not for function. The timers are there for aesthetic. So if you look at the... where's my original drop pod? Here. If you look at the drop pod, when you look behind it, you see a timer block, a cargo container, a beacon, a parachute, and that sort of stuff. So I want to have the same things-ish visible behind the seats here. It's all aesthetic. Yeah, I'll probably use some of them, but I won't need all of them. Because I'm going to have, what? That's 8. I'll have 32. The lights are already in there. If you have a look from the seat, you got a light there and a light on the other side. They have already been included. The pipes will turn green anyway because they all go from a conveyor junction to a conveyor junction. I kept that in mind when I was building it. In fact, what I might do, because I don't really like that that's all the same as the other side, I'm going to do this. Them. Then I'll put another timer in here. Yeah, that looks a bit more different. Now, would a battery work? Could put a small battery in, even though the normal one doesn't have one. Maybe I'll put one in there just to make it look different. Wait. Those pipes should turn green. There we go. Just doesn't have enough power. I can't really center a chute. But yeah, I guess I should put one. You're right. Even if I leave it empty. Although this is... I'll just have to turn it off. That's the other thing. All of these beacons need to have their ranges dramatically reduced. Oh wait, no, I won't capitalize that. So the people in the seats should be able to see this, I think. Make it like 2 meters, they'll be able to see it. Yeah. Who packed the chutes? They'll see them all around them. I'm going to call that done. Yeah. Now, pasting this. That's probably a good block to grab. Yes. And then I can just decorate this segment around here, or I can actually remove a lot of that brace up the top because I've now linked them in front. So I should be able to hide a bit more, so you'll just see the wheels and that's about it. Oh, look at that. That does not fit. Dang it. Right. So, we get rid of these. Let me try that again. Aha, that worked. And there we go. This this drop pod thing is like those rotors. I'm so happy with how it's come together. I was not I wasn't sure it would, but it's actually worked about as well as I hoped. Yes. Yeah, it fits surprisingly well considering I didn't measure it, which was probably a mistake. Whoops. Yeah. Yep. Top frame will go. Those thrusters on the inside will probably go as well, because I don't think I'm going to need that many. Although maybe I will. So let's cut this down. Oh, in fact, before I get too excited cutting this, let's copy it and build another one. Which I will just shove on the ground over here as a backup. Definitely want to get rid of all this rubbish on top, because it is messy and ugly. Yeah, let's lose those thrusters. There's that. That's a bit neater. Yeah, I think if I just make this stuff at the back here fill in the holes, it should look just fine from the front. that sort of thing. And then... yeah, I think that's hidden well enough. Now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do with the bottom bit, because the wheel suspension does stick out below. I figured the top was going to be the bit that's more easily visible and problematic. Let's put the gyros in the middle because it looks better. Yeah, top is fine, bottom. What to do down here? Oh wait, the bottom's more visible, isn't it? Because anyone sort of walking underneath will see the bottom. Drat. Didn't think through that bit at all. Seeing a few functional blocks isn't the worst thing in the world. I don't think that looks too bad. Looking up, I might just need to do something here to link, to kind of join this up. Maybe just a few slopes in here would be enough. Yeah, a few slopes would be enough. I don't want to go too far with it. Yeah, yeah, Tuxel. Just hand wave away. The bottom provides somehow more important supports. Cool. I think that's done. Now I just got to figure out the timers and the top. Sweet. Let's clean up my mess. Delete, delete, delete. Should probably do this at another stage, but I just wanted to get rid of a bit of this now. Well, that's what I should be trying to do. Before I do any timers and before I put any top on it, I need to move this. Oh, I need to change the color of that block. I need to move this so that I can put it on the final one. Copy. Put a cockpit on here and then I'll just fly it down onto it. Alright, because it has gyros, but it doesn't have sideways. It doesn't have lateral thrust. This could be more tricky than I anticipate. Yep. Yep. Come on. Come on. No. Too far. Do I keep trying or do I just put some lateral thrusters on there? That is the question. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Come on. I'll give this a couple of minutes to see if I can actually do this. This is really hard to control. It has enough thrust, but I think I'm going to have to add more. Because it barely lifts. Oh! Did I get it? Almost got it! No! 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 Ah! Oh. Yeah, maybe a little bit chair forge-ish. Checksum. No. 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 No, no, no. Oh, you're right. Wait. What? Should all be on now. I don't think I've got enough battery power for some of these thrusters to actually turn on. Oh, hang on a second. No, 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 no. I know what the problem is. There we go. These ones are off. Yeah, the hidden ones. Geez, you could totally make a competition out of this. Might have to do that with Capac at some point. Can you fly? Some sort of timed obstacle race where you got to get one of these onto a needle. Except with damage on. Oh. Oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to just drop this thing, or just put a couple of lateral thrusters on it, because this is not going well. Whoops! Especially when I look across a chat. I look across a chat and I immediately oversteer from where I'm trying to be. Come on. Come on. Oh, almost there. Yes! I did it! I did it! Finally. Oh. Okay, that was kind of hard. Okay, that's full thrust trying to go up right now. That's not ideal. So I'll fall faster. I won't rise faster. See ya, Jackson. Think more thrusters are in order. Huh. Ooh. Oh no, I can't do hydrogen thrust because I'll need to have an O2H2 gen somewhere. Even in creative, you still need it. I'll have to do atmo thrust. No, the friction is still on some of the wheels. Okay, that got us an extra meter a second. Bring them out to there. It's a little bit better. Those thrusters are working very hard though. Oh! I need more battery power, I think, as well. No, this has the extra big batteries, doesn't it? I don't need more battery power. I just need more thrust. I'm somewhat tempted to throw a big thruster in the corner here. But I won't. So that might be a bit much. Let's do this. Oh, what? Dang it. I did that with symmetry off. Yeah, I think I could probably put some more in the middle as well. Maybe there. Okay, let's see if this gives us a bit of extra speed. Yeah, that's more like it. I wanted it to be at least like 8 meters a second because I felt like 5 is probably far too slow. They need to be a bit closer than that thing to keep it a bit more steady. 6.6. 6.6 meters a second, and then down you go! Yeah. Alright. Thrusters. Why is my shift working? That's weird. And now we will go groups, and we'll go toggle block on off, toggle block on, toggle block off. Before I start playing around with that though, I'm going to put a cap on this so that I can't come off. I don't know how I'd do a sensor on the... Oh, I suppose if I had a sensor on the top of the ride detecting the actual top, I could cut out the thrusters that way. So that could work. This might work quite well. Put a Capac style sombrero on there. Maybe. Get Capac to put a sombrero on there. Alright, and then it'll be... Actually, thrusters. Let's put all of the things to max. Off. And on. That was a bit late. Oh, geez. Okay, that goes really quickly when the thrusters are on full override. So the idea I have in mind is might be able to run this mostly on sensors. Oh, that's an interesting idea, A9. Putting the yellow respawn ship on top as the top one. And although if that doesn't work color-wise, I could use the space pod on top. Like the current space pod. So my thought would be, I need to build the entry platform. Yeah, I was thinking either a large grid version of the pod could work quite nicely on the top as well. That's going to take some time though. But yeah, making something that looked like this on top. Well, maybe I could. I feel like maybe the current blue one is the way to go because it's blue as well. Let's just, wait, do I have the space pod? My blueprints list? I don't think I do. No. I like the idea of the old yellow one, but I think the aesthetics will be all weird having a yellow thing on top and then having the blue ones. I think it'll look better with all the color scheme the same. I did really like that Sarthurian. In Sydney, there used to be a amusement park called Wonderland, which the drop thing like this was you'd go inside something that looked a bit like a UFO, and they'd have the whole scripted sequence where it's like stuff's going wrong, and then it'd drop you. I'll try. This is not going to go well. Enable creative mode and invulnerable. Spacepod. Respawn. Why am I dressed like Capac? What was I doing that made me dressed like Capac? Oh, I think I know what I was doing. I was making a t-shirt. That's what I was doing. That's why I was dressed like Capac. I knew there was a reason. Yeah, there will be bumper cars, Benil. I kind of like the idea of making a giant version of the drop pod, like the standard one, and putting it on top and actually making you go inside it now. Because I think this thing's not, like, it's got the flying saucer kind of look to it. I think it just works. I'm going to try and build one. So... Oy. What should I start with? The other thing will be whether I can get the scale, like if I do a 1-to-1 block, is that actually going to be even big enough to fit around this? Because that's already 3 blocks across there. May have to kind of fudge it a little bit and scale it up even more. Does it need to be this big for the entry bit? Although that's not going to be cement. That doesn't work because I need to have it odd numbers. I'll try 1-for-1 and see how big it gets. Just quickly. Or as quickly as I can. Now I can always stretch certain parts of it to make it work. Or if someone knows of, if someone can find one on the workshop, I wouldn't be averse to trying one from the workshop if someone's already done this sort of thing. Someone else has. Just to speed this up a little bit. Well, when this is the kind of meant to be the celebration of my oh yeah, I'm not going to do the O2 gens. It's going to be open from all sides. So the functional blocks are going to be non-existent. Good point, guys. Let me start that again. I forgot the mirroring mode. Ooh, actually, what I should do is just make a quick inner bit of the tower. So I'm working off something that... Oh wait, that doesn't help enough. Let's not do that. Yeah, let's clean up my mess, because I keep looking at the wrong drop pods. It is getting distracting and confusing. So it shouldn't actually be that much work. It's just going to be figuring out how to scale this up to the right size for what I want to do. So it's going to need to fit around all of this potentially, or if I decide that that's not needed, I could just make it so that it sits on top as a large grid version of the same thing. That could be enough. So we don't... I'm not... Oh, maybe I should have the landing gear. No, I won't for now. But if I decide to have this go around the outside of the build, then I'll use the landing gear. Let's bring me closer. It's 3 of them across... Oh no, wait. I've done this wrong. Need that first. Then I build that. So that's the same here. And then we have... Ooh, where is it? 5 across in the middle. It's even bigger than that. Huh. This is making me appreciate just how big the drop pod is. This could work. It'll fit over the tower. It's the fitting over of the my drop thing that's the problem. Oh yeah, if I scale it up bigger again, it'll definitely fit over everything. I'm just going to see how much I might need to change, or whether I could just get away with, say, stretching one part of it to get it around. So I'd be happy enough with that. If I just have to stretch a bit. So that's just these bits. And it'll be hollow, obviously. So I don't need this to have, because I need to have the internal space. Yeah, I definitely think this is the right way to go in terms of the design, to make it look interesting at the top of the like fit with the design of the tower and with the design of this sort of thing that's often around amusement parks. No, that's not right. Should be that way. Dang, tricksy Aragaths. So I'm pretty sure this was built by Aragath. If you go large, you can still use the small one on a tilt-a-whirl. I could. I should really think of a different design by that point, though. And now, next layer is the blue, and it's about the same. And I can just put the white stripes on at the end. Does the grid size modification thing of Midspace's admin help us still work, though? Because I've somewhat recently used some of that stuff and it doesn't work as it used to, which is sad. And this hasn't taken anywhere near as long as I thought it was going to. Does. Yeah. And there's the 4 blocks. Inverted corners. Yeah. There we go. Ah. Dang it. Hit the right key, Splitsy. Jeez. Just imagining this at the top. I don't know that the other drop pods would need to go inside. But I might be able to just take out enough of the other blocks to fit them through even with this size. Kinda like it. Kinda like it a lot. Oh, no, I got that wrong. That's not where the curves are. Curves are here. I knew there were curves on top, I just couldn't remember where. Yeah, as in I've got a lot of it memorized, but not all of it. It's hard. There's a surprising amount of detail in it. Let's see if this will fit on top of the tower. Okay. Oh, I've done the thing that I hate doing. Inverted corners when I want a cube. What purpose would you have for the blueprint of this, Eisen? Can't imagine there's many uses for a large grid drop pod. I'm going to bet that I need to expand this just a little bit to make it work around, but we'll see just how much. Timber! Okay. Whoops, took out a tree. There we go. It sort of works. It's going to need some lights to make it work properly. Oh, I put it on top of the wrong post. Drat. Alright. There might be mascots around the park, I guess. If I... Oh. Don't be like this. Why are you being like this? It's stuck! Unstick it. I need a flat spot for it to land on when I accidentally crash at the bottom to prevent this from happening. How do I unstick you? There we go. That works. at that. I am so close. Oh, that's so not fair. That sucks. Let's clear these out and see how it looks with them gone. Yeah, I'm so happy with how the car is, and I can't really make it any smaller. And to me, it's more important that the car feels right, because it's the thing you're going to see close up. This you'll only see from the ground, really. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's stuck on those as well. So that's not going to work. Right. I need to come up with a design that gives me that extra block of clearance. If instead of having just the one row there, if I put two more flat bits in, I wonder how it'll look. Oh, whoops. I don't want that to happen. Let's turn off symmetry. And then copy that. Because then it's kind of like the shape of the pot underneath. So I'll do this, I'll stretch it one way, and then I'll stretch it the other way, and then I'll get the center. Hopefully that'll work. Because that should add enough clearance for me to keep all of the underneath decorative blocks in place. Yep, copy and stitch together over and over. Must remind me to paint the top as well, because I haven't painted the top. No, I do need to place bricks. It is a thing I need to do, because I need to add the extra block in the middle. Oh no, I pressed Control B again. Grr. Alright. Hold up. Get rid of those bits. Now I should be able to paste this where I need it. Oh, why won't you let me paste you there? You should go there. It's in the way. There's no other blocks there. I don't understand. There's nothing sticking out there. There's nothing sticking out there. Should be able to place this. There-ish. I'll just get rid of these and see if they're making any of the problems. Don't feel like they should be, but it's possible. Okay, that should definitely be working. What am I doing wrong? What am I missing here? It's fine placing in the ground because this is a static grid. Placing into the ground is not an issue. I might do though, just to make it, just to check if that is, because it shouldn't be an issue, but I think we all know with space engineers, shouldn't doesn't mean isn't. Let's try this. And it works. That shouldn't have made a difference. So annoying. Alright, now... Morthus, I have played main assembly already. I haven't played it on stream, but I have already played the game. They've got some things... Last I played, I haven't checked again since, but when I first tried it, I play with inverted mouse, and they've got some really weird control schemes where it sometimes is inverted, sometimes isn't. And I just couldn't get over the frustration of that, and I'm not a big fan of me being all salty in a stream, because, and I would be with that, because I just wouldn't be able to control stuff. It would be incredibly frustrating for me. So that's why I haven't played it. I've got to test again to see, but it looks like an interesting game. More of like a occasional stream thing for Capac and I. But yeah. If the mouse inversion doesn't play nice, I can't play it. It's just too frustrating. I should have had mirror on for this bit. Hopefully it's only a few blocks. It's night on Mushroom Engineers. Oh, this reminds me of making my, there's a headquarters base in my assertive installations that looks very much like a giant mushroom. Because when I first designed the bases for that mod, I was, like, the idea I was going for was kind of organic, alien sort of stuff. So I made a thing with it all being in that sort of style. They look like mushrooms. Fungus engineers. Galadas, the reason I play with inverted mouse is historical. When I played PC game, like I've played PC games for a very, very long time. First PC I played on was a 386, and so I actually didn't play a first-person shooter until after I'd played several, or a fair bit of flight sims. So because I had started with flight sims, I ended up being comfortable with joysticks first for tilt control and stuff. So for me, I always think of the mouse position as actually moving the character's head. So if you push forward, your head looks down. And I've seen no reason why I should have to change that. I don't see my mouse as moving around a screen, I see it as moving around the character's head. So all you inverted haters, too bad. I'm not changing. Anti-Scourge? Yes, I did. You're absolutely right. I did act it out without having a camera. And you could probably hear it through the microphone, because my microphone's above my head. Like it's kind of over, just above my eye line looking down. Oops. Okay. Copy that, cut off the bits I don't need, and paste onto the original. Bilbo? No. I think main assembly should make it so that they fit, since they're the ones trying to sell their game. If they want to maximize their audience, they need to make it so it works with something that's really, really common. It's not the most common control scheme, but it is so common that if you're a game dev, you should really be making your game so that people can play it with inverted controls. With inverted Y. Oops. I probably don't want to be taking out all these trees, so I may want some of them. Just the Y-axis is inverted. Not that weird. No, there's an extra block there. It does make it interesting when I use Capac's PC for extra perspectives, though. Because if I start using Capac's PC for extra perspectives, he does not play with inverted, so I have to leave it. Which makes it a bit of a challenge to move his character around at times. That should be big enough, I think. Might even be big enough that I can put an inverted corner in here. Oh, no, the axes are wrong. There we go. Yay! What the... Any more missing pieces from me deleting random stuff? Yes. No, that looks alright. Okay, now to paint the white stripes. There's the pod. Alrighty. It's pretty simple, and it's that. I might do those two as well. Is there any further on to the top? Missing a blue one on one of the openings. Dang it. Let's have a look. Then I really have to clean up this mess because I've got so many grids that are just lying around there. Aha, there it is. Thank you. Cool. I think the pole should be this dark grey. I reckon that still feels like the drop pod enough that it works for our purposes. And that. And Capac is going to stream some Noita shortly. And I'm probably gonna be able to finish this shortly, which is awesome, because I'm thinking I'll probably do a stream soon where I do a lot of the detail work and get the timers right and all that sort of stuff, which will be kind of like a test the rides stream as well. So it shouldn't just be a whole lot of mucking around with timers, but it should be some fun with the making it actually work. Let's get rid of that. Let's paste that in. It's not far enough back. And I will make my flat safety thing at the bottom that I am somehow managing to, miracle of all miracles, remember that I need to do. Luke a lot. I have played Satisfactory. I do not enjoy Satisfactory, unfortunately. It just hasn't grabbed me. It's not my kind of game. Though I play Factorio a bit more than Satisfactory, and I kind of enjoy it, but not Satisfactory. Satisfactory is unsatisfactory to me. For the bad pun of the day. Yeah. So you come up to here. Oh, yes. Without the cockpit there, it'll actually get to the perfect height, I think. I don't know what Satisfactory needs, but it's something that it doesn't have, at least for me to enjoy it. I know a lot of people love it, and a lot of people have a lot of fun with it. It's just not for me. Cool. Let's try... How am I going to control this? I need to put a... Maybe I'll put a remote somewhere on it. That's probably a better idea. Put that there for now. Control. Yeah. I reckon that's pretty good. You can see down, and then blammo! WD-40, I like Avorion. I just don't think it's a good game for me to stream. Avorion's a fun game to play. There's lots of cool design elements to the way you build stuff. It's got a whole lot of grand galactic stuff you can do, like building your fleets and building up your own bases and all that sort of stuff. I think it'd be awesome to play on a server with a bunch of people you like, so that you can have little battles and skirmishes but not actually destroy each other completely, and have some cool battles like that. But building stuff, for me, in Avorion, takes forever. It is so slow. Like, you think I'd take a lot of time with builds in Space Engineers? Avorion's so many more levels worse. So I don't think it's a good stream game, or even for recordings, I would have to edit out a huge amount of content. So that's why I haven't done it, even though I actually have enjoyed playing the game when I've played it. Because I've owned it since it entered early access. Like, I think I bought it in the first month of it being in early access. Oh yeah, I need to paint the engines on the top. Good point. The thrusters. Here we go. And Starbase, it's an MMO. And I was horribly addicted to EVE, so I'm very hesitant to get involved in any MMOs. I have been playing SE since 20... I think I got SE either just before or just after the survival update. Like when survival first became a thing. Before that it was only creative mode. Yeah, I should put stuff like that in it. Like LCDs up the top here, some lights and things like that. Well, at least you bounce! I'm gonna have to figure out when to turn the thrusters back on for this drop so that it does actually slow you down. Yeah, Ozrig, I'd be tempted, just for a pure nostalgia stream, to log back into my old EVE accounts, and I've had several. That's how bad it got. But I'd be worried that I would then get drawn back in. And I used to spend so much time with it. Oh man. It was ridiculous. 3, 2, 1, drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's not bad. About 5 seconds, maybe. Could I describe Space Engineers in a minute? Space Engineers is exactly what Keen describe it as on their website. It is Lego Technic in a game where you can go to space. It's got all of that stuff that Lego gives you when you build stuff. That feeling of, I made something awesome, I made something incredible. It's got all that sort of stuff. That's Space Engineers to me anyway. And because of the physics, I've been able to mess around in Space Engineers much longer than I have some other similar types of games. Or you could say, Eisen, Space Lego with less sore feet early in the morning in winter. Okay, that was too late. This is kind of fun. I'm gonna love this ride. I'm gonna need to do a whole lot of scripted stuff for this. So, for those of you who are on the Discord, feel free to drop suggestions about this sort of stuff to me in there. I do read pretty much every channel. I'd probably just drop it in main chat because I don't really want to create another channel for suggestions of this particular thing. But if you got any ideas around what I could do for some scripted stuff to happen up here, because I've got room up here to actually put even some clear LCDs. So I can put transparent LCDs across here that would be viewable from inside the pods. So I could put stuff up on screen and use timer blocks to manipulate what gets displayed. So from inside you'll be able to see it. So I could have certain ones turn on and off. Yeah. Yes, it is multiplayer. And for like 4 or probably up to 4 people, it's pretty stable multiplayer. More than that can get a little bit sketchy, but the dedicated servers do work okay. Yeah. Klaxons, emergency signs, that sort of thing I'm thinking. I'm not thinking anything too excessive. Something fairly simple, but I think using the transparent LCDs up here will be a nice effect. Because when you come up, you'll get that look. Yeah. Although, turns out I don't need the top row, because you can't see them from there anyway. Unless I manage to mess around with this stuff in a way that doesn't break the whole lift. Because I need... If I do... do that, I'm going to need somewhere on the outside for that to connect to, otherwise the whole thing's just going to fall. Maybe I should do this. It's not going to look right from above, but I think to make it look better from the side that you're actually going to experience this from, this is an improvement. I like the idea of the LCDs being external to the pod, because I don't want them to be something that you have to weirdly avoid clicking on to get into the seats. I want this to be open. And then these, it's kind of that, it very much is, I think it was Zathurian, you mentioned it, the Wonderland, Sydney's Wonderland had a ride like this years ago, where you would go up into the top of a sort of a UFO style thing and then end up getting dropped from inside it. And it was a really cool way of doing it. So that's kind of what I'm ripping off. So that's why I wanted to achieve that same sort of feel. It's a memory I have quite vividly because I was terrified of heights back when I wrote it and had so much fun despite that. So I kind of very much like the idea of reminiscing and creating that for myself. Thanks, Anthea. Yes, there will be more stationeers with Capac. We have kind of gotten distracted by Scrap Mechanic at the moment. But we've both already talked about it, and as soon as we are no longer distracted by Scrap Mechanic, we plan to go back to stationeers and play some more of it, because it's had a lot of updates. We're not going to be going back to the same save, unfortunately, but we'll definitely go back to it, and with Capac knowing a bit more and me knowing a bit more, hopefully we'll be able to do some fun stuff with it. Which I'm looking forward to, because they have done a few updates since we last played. There we go. It's a bit more bounce when you reach the top. It does have a glass bottom. I'm almost tempted to put more glass in under there. how to look at... actually, I can't put those in there, can I? That's probably a bit better because more glass. Isn't it? Should have put symmetry on before I did it. Yeah. I like the fact that there's the little bits of support, the frames. That's the word I was looking for. I like that there's the frames because it looks like the glass is more supported. I think it fits better with the aesthetic of the whole craft rather than having something that'd be a nice big clear pane of glass. The front angles are part of the original design, so I want to leave them in. I know it's high up, but it does kind of force you to look down, which I like. Alright, let's remove control, and dampeners off. And dampeners on. I think I did that too late. Oh, no I didn't. Yeah, Zartharian, that's exactly what I was thinking about. It's kind of that, because you're going to be standing on it, it needed to be strong. So it kind of feels right. I wonder if the... Huh. Just had a thought. I'm going to check something. I wonder if they put the head position of that modded chair at a different height. Nope, same height. I was thinking it might have been a different height to the vanilla one, and that's why it was blocking our line of sight more than I remembered it doing. But it does block your line of sight that much. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, drop. Drop. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think the thrusters could be turned off at the top and then turned back on by a sensor as you pass through the ground level entry to this thing. So if I just do a rough thing with the catwalks, I'm going to have to actually start from this thing, aren't I? Not that high. Oops. So my thought was to use sensors to kind of run this mostly. And the sensor will kick on as you're falling through the floor. Which I'm probably going to do another time, I think. But let's just have a look at how it feels if I just manually trigger it at that point. So this was sort of the idea I was thinking, sort of a bridge coming over. Which is how you get into it. And I'll put the sort of sales booth on here. We can put some other stuff out on this bridge, since it's a lot longer than I'd anticipated. I can probably... I may twist the thing so that the bridge goes to the shortest line, although maybe not. Maybe I don't need to. Let's have a look. how it feels going past that. Control. Let's go up. The slow climb. There we go. Oh yeah, FlexRish, because you're not in the middle of the thing, it kind of makes it more obvious that there's stuff in the way. That's a fair point. Alright, 3, 2, 1, drop. I will try and trigger this as we go past that catwalk. Oh, might have to trigger just a little bit earlier, because I did have a bit of a thud. Cool. So I think I'm gonna end the stream about here, because that is another ride ready to get some detail work done. For those of you who are interested, I'm going to do a little bit of a raid on the old Capac, assuming he's still alive, and hopefully Twitch doesn't be annoying and play an ad for me. How do I? Oh, that's right. Raid a channel. There we go. Thanks, Arthurian. So, if you're wanting to watch some Capac, hang around, go off and raid his channel. Otherwise, I will hopefully see you guys for our next live stream on tomorrow morning, and Survival Unlikely on Wednesday after that. So there's all that, and plenty more to come. And I'm going to do one more trip up and down, because I love this thing. Oh man, I love these rides. They're so much fun. So there's all that, and plenty more to come, and I will see you all then. Thanks for coming, everyone. Whee! Go up. Hurry! Stupid slow thing. Taking so long. Come on! Go up. 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 Oh, and for those of you who missed the streams, they are backed up on my Flipsy channel, youtube.com/Flipsy. I will see you all later. Yeah. That's almost awesome with the bouncing, I think.